Welcome everyone to more vintage and retro open source and Linux content here live on our channel. We take testing and our vintage and retro collection very seriously, so today I undusted and powered up my precious Sgi Octane, a relatively good one. That is my Beta 1 dual socket SMP 250 MHz, dual 250 MHz. 1 GB of freaking memory. That certainly was outrageous in 1996-ish or so. And this has, this has a smaller graphic, but the graphic doesn't matter too much because we can't really use it to its fullest potential in Linux anyway. And I have, however, a SGI not approved what was the name of that? Whatever, I forgot. A PCI board thing that is for another origin. Actually, I probably still need to make a dedicated video with USB PCI card in there, which is of course totally not approved and doesn't even work fully in Linux. Anyway, we run a subversion, so like, yeah, share, like, subscribe if you love Sgi Octane, Sun Microsystems and other such or Linux content. You probably want to share, like, subscribe because we constantly, recurrently and too much do this here, and we have stuff to fix, right? Theoretically, eventually somewhere between now and forever, hopefully before I retire, I also have to better support the PCI bridge. This, what is it? Is it called Expo? What even was the freaking name of it? We can Google this later. Anyway, I run a subversion, not checkout, I run a subversion update because of course I had already one of the best Linux distributions out there. Some say top 10 or so, certainly one of the non-RPM Red Hat forked ones out there that supports all architectures between ARM and RISC-V, and so of course also the precious Sgi Octane. I run subversion update. Let's fingers crossed and thumbs pressed and stuff for hopefully it's stable enough. I don't quite remember on what's like. Pro tip, store your machines in working order. Usually I do, except when I don't. So I don't remember how stable it was because support, full support for that is not upstream, and I hope I run the best Linux kernel source patch mix I ever curated, but our mileage may vary. I remember sometimes the SCSI bus had some timeout reset stuff and hangs, and I hope it's stable. We will see. So my point of today is benchmarking this, right? Of course I used it before, and if you want to see more of this content, I have a full introduction video including a 3-part series of dumb Linux developer trying to try SGI IREX, which was more difficult than our Linux. And yeah, plenty of videos including repairing the light bar. On this one I have blue LEDs because the light bulbs were burned through, so previous soldering on precious Sgi Octane content there. I talk so much because we still virtual subversion checkout, so that is, what was it, 10, I think it's only 7,200 RPM SCSI drive. I probably need to get some more SCSI drives or so. Yeah, so the point of this is testing how fast it will build bash, if it even builds bash. Hopefully it does. But I remember probably we might have previously built FLAC, the open source lossless audio codec, probably 3 years ago when there was a change, and we benchmarked how much faster that was on MIPS. I believe it was probably, was it 11 or 7% faster or something of that sort. Anyway, so I believe it once upon a time probably was in the state that it could successfully build software locally. The reason I say this is because of course we cross-compile everything, right? So we support 32 architecture, C library and sub-architecture like x32 and n32 variants, and of course we cross-compile them all, right? We're not like other Linux distributions who have 10 old boards and hope to eventually build something. No, we epic thread-rip cross-compile that, so the state of can it natively actually compile something might vary on compiler bugs, internal compiler errors, GCC ISIS, and other SCSI bus and memory subsystem stability marginalities. And we're still checking out. So yeah, we have come a long way, right, from highest performance ultra-wide SCSI buses, rotating magnetic storage at 7,000 or even 10,000. I believe once upon a time I had some 10K RPM drives, but I usually hated them, right? Because yes, performance, but performance only goes so far if you have a high pitch electrical motor with magnetical platters spinning next to your ears, and yeah, performance is nice, but not when it damages your hearing and concentration and nerves. So yeah, SVN checkout going strong. We probably do we have tmux? Oh, we don't have tmux, but we surely have screen. I should have actually run this in screen, to be fair. That was not the very best idea, then we could have already started to poke around. Before the live stream, it has an uptime of probably 15 minutes. I intro, it's like, yeah, Subversion update running, we have 10 minutes to talk. Or maybe it was only 5. Before the live stream, I quickly checked if at least it has any chance to work. For example, T2 downloading some sources, and because yesterday on the also MIPS Imagination CI Creator CI20 MIPS32 little Indian board, my curl wasn't working. Was it curl? Wasn't it somewhere curl wasn't working? Wasn't it there? I forgot where it was. We test too much when I forget where something failed. Anyway, I recently had the issue that curl didn't work on whatever machine that was, and because TLS, right? And it's like I didn't have to live stream, so it looked. I mean, this installation is probably not that old. Maybe it's only 3 years old. We will check that in a. We could quickly check to better summarize this. So this is a T2 installation. Oh, it would also help if I could type. 2018, so that's already 5 years old. Man, time and this YouTube channel is running. Probably I need to switch to producing more AAA, outstanding pre-recorded B-roll footage here. Man, yeah, that's probably updating 5 years and 10,000 worth of source code changes. What I wanted to say is, so I downloaded curl, I started scripts T2 download or emerge curl. It downloaded, so SSL TLS stuff new enough. It's also like, this is in general also a thing with vintage machines, right? You run SGRX and you can't browse the web because now everything's HTTPS, which at least is using. I'm not even sure if the old browsers did support that from 20 years ago, but if they did, then SSL1 or whatever, which all the sites don't offer anymore for security. So yeah, even on an 8-year-old T2 installation, you might usually have TLS, SSL stuff so old that it doesn't connect to anything modern anymore. So yeah. Speed Racer, yes, the host name of this is also Speed Racer, obviously, because actually we can check what was the SGI PCI board. What was it? Was it once upon a time I knew it. It's not the shoebox, so there is an official thing which I don't have, and thanks again for this fellow. Theoretically that is not mine, so it's not the shoebox, right? There is a PCI cage, actually I shouldn't say that, I should call it PCI cage because I really hate the shoebox name. Also, hello, can we probably ultra wide SCSI bus flushing data to the rotating storage. Yeah, thanks to the amazing person who theoretically had that on some kind of permanent loan here. Not the SGI, only the PCI board. So yeah, was it Xtalk, XPCI, was it Xbox X, whatever. So we are checked out. So let's not waste any time. And so what I wanted to say is, it didn't recompress, right? I was already wondering what's going to happen, but I only changed 2 days ago that we're not recompressing anymore, so that is now the latest T2 source tree, similar to BSD package sources. So let's download curl again, now the latest version. I had that just a second ago. And also Ethernet for, I'll also check some error. That's not, maybe we don't have some, we don't have exec. Nah. Whoop, whoop. Okay, let's hope we can download. I mean, okay, we can download. So yeah, that is of course a thing. The smallest minor inconvenience for not recompressing. You need to have all the compressors available. So probably not building except no. We will see. First we build bash, and then we will take a look at the rest. Is that the hello Xtalk? would help if they would have had some pictures there. Some more non-static. Anyway, this kind of whatever the backplane, whatever the part for that was 700. Yeah, you had me at 708 pound of slide. I mean, I love SGI stuff, but I don't love it that much. So let's probably quickly double check. Also, you don't see what I'm typing because my 1200 pixel high. Also, I logged out because I'm stupid. Yeah. Alright, also term because it doesn't know Alacrity because obviously all I wanted was screen. All I did was log out. Yeah. And so I wanted to quickly check config default. What are we actually building? Man, my typing today is really off. Okay, let's do smart just because. Yeah, let's do smart and use tempfs. Use this default here, and now we have auto. Let's test it. Let's script. So even building the config stuff. So this will just regenerate the config with latest greatest. And yeah, even this is like C compiler, like dual 250 MHz. Bets taken. I probably can continue with my other stuff. Probably I can Google what the. Oh, I even don't remember from which. So it's not an SGI official SGI. Also, we can now. Oh, you don't see this because it's not Tmux. Oh, that was not the most clever. The screen doesn't have a. I didn't realize that. Here, the new T2 installations obviously come with Tmux by default for also code quality reasons. SGI X, is it Xtorque? Maybe this one? Ah yeah, that looks about. Yeah, people want 360. I mean, it's absolutely crazy that some people might do. They still have that in stock. So yeah, that is what I have in there, and that is not for the Octane. And I had to disassemble it mechanically, obviously, to get it in there. And now YouTube is whining about bandwidth. Thank you very much. Why is that? Yeah. So yeah, that I have in there as a permanent loan or somewhat semi. Time will show probably. My understanding is once upon a time, 15 years ago, when the original reverse engineering Linux developer, Stanislav, I believe, reversed that in like 2006, that probably was working, but with the 4.18.5 or so kernel I'm currently running, it's enumerating, it is scanning and seeing the PCI bus, but most things don't work. I only tested probably. I'm not sure how much I tested. Maybe I only have the USB card in there, which may or may probably does not work fully. And because it's mechanically, like, it's not really officially fitting in there, right? I had to dislapse. I mean, the person who loaned me this card was even surprised because I didn't realize the person who loaned me that also has an Octane, of course, and probably has multiple of these cards, which obviously is amazing. Certainly quite some financial investment, and it's good. Yeah, investment there, and I didn't. So there was some miscommunication, right? So I assumed like he told me it fits in there, no problem and stuff. And when I'm told, hey, it fits in there, no problem, I thought it fits mechanically in there. What I didn't realize, like only later, when like I sent him a photo, like, hey, I got it in there. It was like, why did you not tell me that it's mechanically so constrained and I had to disassemble it partially and stuff? And like he was like, how did you get it in there? It's like, but you told me it fits in there. And he's like, yes, but without the carrier thing. Like I think he meant like only put it in without the metal mechanical carrying thing there. And like, what you wanted me to put it in? Also we have drop frames. Yay. It's like, so yeah, so much to communication between IT people and technicians and stuff. Oh, 1 point. Oh, input output errors. That's not ideal. I think something XFS IO error, shutting down file system. No, that's not particularly cool. Metadata IO error in Xlog. You don't see this because that's of course not particularly cool. Of thanks Octane. So much to is it stable? Can we system request reboot? Oh, system request still works. Yeah, so much to is it stable? I probably should have actually I'm not sure if I can capture it with my cheap dongle. Alright, no, I can't capture it. I need VGA. Let's reboot and see if it. Yeah, obviously you would want to have seen the. So much to is it stable? Yeah, I remembered I had some IOs, and that's now you need to debug this, right? Is it Linux kernel stability? Is it the drive? Is it other memory corruption? The thing is also I don't have so many SCSI SCA drives. I was once considering buying a bulk. Once someone in Berlin sold like a pallet of, I don't know, a whole pallet of, I don't know, even 20, 40, 60? Like 20 kilo worth of one layer of SCA drives. And in retrospect, I probably should have brought it. It was, I mean, like for $60 or something, of how much? 40 drives for $60 or whatever. Probably I should have brought it. Also, people like, maybe I should try this. I mean, the thing is, this SD card SCSI stuff is so expensive. Let's hope the rest builds. What did it build the config stuff, right? So yeah, let's just try it again and see. It probably let's check. And it's basically also testing, right? In one way, I'm curious. This is not even the latest GCC, so it's a 5-year-old GCC probably. It's probably a little bit faster than latest GCC. And so it's probably 20, 30, 40% maybe faster, whatever. Hello, are we check something like that? Don't tell me this crashed already. Oh no, it checksummed for whatever. Yeah, something is up with the SCSI bus stuff, whatever. I had in memory that it sometimes had some I/O glitches. Recently, the last time I tested it. Okay, let's see. What actually, you know what? Let's first emerge Lua, because that should be relatively fast-ish. Debs none verbose Lua. So that, oh, we have, why does it not, maybe the config is corrupted now, because it said not installed, edit, and then no packages scheduled for build, or maybe it is also config marginality, also the config is corrupted, yeah. So that's not ideal. Especially if the stuff is not so fast. Yeah, having fun with vintage and retro machines. Somehow it's probably, and that is what I said in the previous video, is it really worth it, or should you just run it with SGI GL native state-of-the-art 3D software and games, maybe on IRIX? Maybe that's more useful. Yeah, I wonder if we again need to optimize some stuff to be much more amazing on vintage and retro machines. That is, it's stalling for a fraction of a second on Horizon is one thing, that it computes for 10 minutes is another. Can be controlled. Not even. Don't tell me you have some SCSI bus. By the way, I can show you the so LSPCI while we wait for. Let's delete the config, because the config will copy it there, whatever it was doing. So that's a PCI. Okay, it has some PCI native devices, and so I have an, as you see, NEC 2.0 controller in there, which I believe did not work. It shows up, but if you plug something in, it does not. I mean, maybe they're not even bar with size. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, there should be a chance to have stuff working. On my Origin 200, however, that, as far as I remember, probably has native PCI slots, which the Sgi Octane does not have. I tried a bunch of graphic cards, like S3 Verge, ATI, Mach 64, maybe a Matrox, maybe even a Voodoo. And as far as I remember, like, I probably tried 5 or so, maybe even a video. Probably I made a live stream and none of that worked. Probably a 1 or 2 hour long live stream and none of the bloody PCI cards worked. So, because the Origin doesn't have graphic output, at least I don't have any SGI original OEM part, graphic part in there. How can this freaking be so slow? I have the feeling there is some SCSI bus. Hello, what you doing? Can you deliver some data to us? How can this take so long? Okay, we spent all the time in Bash. Maybe we should port more of our stuff. Oh, I'm also running I'm wasting bandwidth having a YouTube monitor here running. That's of course not ideal. Can we freaking finish that? It's really a pity. We were already there installing it when our SCSI bus, or was it SCSI bus, or... So the thing is with that, and why, by the way, there is remote syslog stuff, right? Because the thing is, if your SCSI bus fails, you of course don't have it in your warlog messages. And by the way, this strange formatting, this SCSI bus formatting I patched, right? This was we finished the config. So I will, as much as it might trigger you, I will edit it, which temp do we have? So we have N32, that is a little bit high performance. And yeah, tempfs. I will enable tempfs just, unfortunately this will reconfig. Let's better do this manually, because it apparently takes way too long. Not to stress the SCSI bus too much, right, to build. And I mean, we have a gig of memory, as much as on a Mango Pi or CI20 board. And I hope this is 30 seconds or so well invested, being a little bit smart here, not that the SCSI bus dies instantly on us again. Need to be a little bit forward thinking here with this vintage stuff. Theoretically, I should also, theoretically all the stuff should be ported. There is theoretically some minimal upstream enablement for Sgi Octane, which I tried this 2 years ago, it didn't work for me. Also, it doesn't have all the drivers. Even if it would boot, it would only boot with no SCSI, no network, and probably, at least I think, and only serial console or something. Oh cool, no. Oh, somehow the scrolling. Don't tell me we have SCSI glitch again. So theoretically this needs to be ported to a new, to the latest kernel. However, I will not do that, right? I move on to my microkernel, right? I leave the Linux kernel to the people who love C and love a single address-based monolithic kernel. I need to innovate the world and write a microkernel. So I would rather have some minimal early microkernel enablement on Octane, just for kicks and giggles, than wasting my lifetime porting this stuff to the latest kernel. So for me, 4.18 or whatever, if other people remix, report, rebase and port stuff to a new kernel, be my guest. I will not waste a week of my lifetime doing that. 4.18 is new enough. Maybe I fixed another bug or two. I fixed audio already and some other things. Oh man, this... Did I say it auto reconfigures 30 seconds? It's like 2 minutes later. Yeah. So yeah, of course we don't have a failing SCSI log in the log. This is what you run serial console or other remote logging for. So finally, let's build package verbose bash and wish me luck that this goes better this time around. Alright, theoretically I wanted to build Lua, right? So Lua doesn't have configure. Let's build Lua first, just to have a reference time. Alright, I might not have downloaded it. Nothing like stressing your single address space monolithic kernel with interrupting, cancelling, suspending. Not joking. When Sgi Octane port stuff was new, if you signaled a user space, process your kernel loops. So I've been there, I've done that. Yeah, as long as that already, I guess the chances of building bash on, as I mentioned yesterday, a 40 MHz Spark Station 2 is probably out of our patient's comfort zone. I mean, maybe we could do this for kicks and giggles and maybe build it for like 8 hours, but it's also absolutely shocking how much even open source software bloat has come, right? In 1990 or 1991 or whenever Spark Station 2 40 MHz was state of the art, that was a state of the art workstation where you compile software on. And now you can't, I mean, now you get impatient simply building Lua or bash on a dual processor, 250 MHz, 1 gig of memory. And so this is high-speed bus, this is high-speed ring interconnect, right? Or was it, oh no, this is a high-speed MIPS Skylark of, do they still have that online in, what's this, IRC? Oops. Do they not have this online anymore at MIPS Linux? Yeah, it is. Oh, we're getting somewhere. Welcome everyone. Here's IP30. Let's hope that's yeah. Advanced. I risk it. Like I also don't understand what's wrong with people. I mean, our website is failing and infrastructure and stuff, but that other prominent websites can't keep it running is rather. Yeah. Where is his files and patches? Yeah, this XIO, I believe it was probably some star thing, right? Here we have that even. I wanted, they had listed a, maybe here, probably here. Yay, that still works, 15 years later. I believe there was a copy of some SGI patent, of course you could look it up. Oh, this also failed. Shit, why does it fail? What did it do and why did it fail? Succeeded, something, cannot create directory? Why is there some failing mkdir? What? That is unfortunate. Is there some mkdir without -p? What the heck is going on there? By the way, yeah, it's not ideal. I need to touch the config again. Unfortunately, this will. Not really sure what happened there though. And we don't have the sources to go in there, so. But I can tell you one thing, as slow as this looks, I mean, some people appreciate it, right? Theoretically, I'm not the greatest fan of the slow build times, but it is what it is, I can't change it. Also most. Then let's build PC. It's also smallish, maybe bigger than Lua. We are lucky, and it didn't reconf the auto config. I probably need to optimize the heck out of the config stuff because 2 minutes of old config regeneration on dual socket 250 MHz thing. Like, think you have a Pentium Pro, right? Previous video. I think you have your original Pentium Pro, and that's obviously unacceptable. Why? What is with this old files archive here? Oh, it's a freaking FDR. And I said this, right? I said this when Firefox and Chrome removed FTP, and it's like, yeah, this bloody stuff is FTP. Thank you very much. This was removed for no good reason. This is completely silly. That, you know, that IT professionals now need to copy this like browsing. I mean, sure, I could install an old-fashioned FTP, but this is completely ridiculous. I said this will annoy IT professionals for years to come, just browsing old directory listings, old like sync company register specifications, others people's old archives. This is simply silly. Why is this not copy link here? Yeah, this, I mean, the freaking FTP server is still up, but you can't browse it with a modern browser. It's like, what is wrong with you bloody people? I believe here was some... Once upon a time I saw some PDF, but maybe it's somewhere else. Ah, there is some PDF. Here is some PDF. My memory is not that bad. Yeah, Bridge and Expo. You know what? Let's curl this, because thank you, Firefox. Let's... 2023 IT professionals need to use the command line to save a bloody FTP files like here. Little Padawans, boys and girls, learn command line to explore the hidden, the good old hidden corners of the internet that modern browsers are hiding from you. -o original file, bridge, and X. Oh, I probably leave in the comments below if we need to start a professional vintage and retro file FTP-like file mirror archive too, because I have the feeling otherwise we will soon lose all those good files. File downloads, Expo, PDF, then download it with curl and then use it with your browser as a glorified PDF view. What the freaking heck is going? Why is this erroring out with mkdir? What the heck? Is there some... what the heck is that even? I expected some breakage, but that is outright silly. Do we somewhere run mkdir with O-P, or what the heck is even going on here? I expected a lot of problems, but that was not one of them. I mean, this is normal behavior, which I don't like the most, but okay. I mean, okay, so, but with -P... Oh, why does... mkdir-P is broken? What the heck? How is mkdir-P broken? You can't make this shit up. I need a test suite. This is unbelievable. I mean, it could be some glibc having broken some system call stuff, or how can, or is it our install wrapper that, no, but it builds on my, how is that even, I mean, it could be our bug, which actually we could check if it's our bug, if it's also happening when we run mkdir-p user doc, and then this is a little bit unfortunate. I wanted to build some... It's like, are you kidding me? Like how and why? And like, you need a test suite for the tiniest things. Do we have an ambutils mkdir? Bus error. So that is extremely unfortunate. That will break a lot of things. Shit. I mean, I could power up my Ryzen, like this is now like kinda like 2023 or beta 2018, and some strange bug in something. It's like... Yeah, and porting to other architectures and whatever detail is going wrong. C programmers doing C things. Cool. How do we work around that the easiest? I mean, this is not really unfortunate. Uh, okay, maybe we are lucky. If we are super lucky, we might have an old installation on here, which I don't instantly see. I mean, we could. I mean, I could power on my Horizon, but the thing is, it will take as long as this live stream. Leave in the comments, like, MIPS. What did I had? Actually, maybe I need to check what we built currently. Maybe we built N32. Yeah, we built okay. So I don't have a build ready. I recently cleaned them all because we made so many changes that I wanted to test that. It's like pro tip. Actually, you know what? We could, okay, let's build it just because we could also, because it's not the latest installation, we could try if a latest build, actually I have a build on the server, right? So on our MIPS64 ISO here. Did this copy the link? Maybe not. Wait, I think I clicked it wrong. Whatever copied, probably not that. Oh, I still have them here. Didn't delete them here yet. Ah. Mount. T2 MIPS64 ISO to media. And then, so mkdir is in core utils, so probably core utils. Copy core utils to 192.168.42. And now we need to be careful not to install it into the system, because the glibc might be incompatible. Do we have set standard? So the star is too old for set standard detection, maybe? No, I also don't see this, sorry. Probably, you know what, let's work around that by... Why is this not selecting? Are we even live streaming? Hello? What's wrong with OBS? Oh no. Now you see it. Core utils. Worst case, we also need to install the glibc, but I'm not really wanting to break my installed system today. Let's see if this binary happens to be compatible. With my luck, probably not. Yeah. Just as expected. I mean, we could maybe install... Could we install both? Would it... Because I'm afraid that just installing the glibc over it might cause all the other binaries, because people, surprise, right? People don't test this too much. And then, like, it should be compatible, but even x86 details are often breaking. So... Let's extract the glibc as well. Maybe then see if we... I mean, first the bloody binary needs to work. Helps a little with the glib. If mkdir, if system calls or C library glue, like here, nobody ever said that N32 high performance MIPS ABI would be stable, right? Change root here. Let's check lib. Is it, by the way, the correct lib? CS. Okay, that doesn't segmentation fault. That's a good start. User bin mkdir. Where do we have our bin mk? Dir missing operate p. User doc. Oh hey, the new mkdir works. We made some progress. Nobody's like, if you're wondering, what did we do? What did what did open, free, mostly vanilla, and stuff, fixed you, and where's my freaking mouse cursor? There it is. What has T2 Linux done the last years for you? We fixed some stuff. Yeah, that's a good thing. So the question is, can we install this glibc next to the other? Maybe not. Famous last words. That's a bit unfortunate that this is not further versioned. What would be really cool if that would be further versioned. Shit. Near our move stuff here. Ah, that is really unfortunate. How do you get this ancient tech? I have the Octane. I brought an Octane in 2006, I believe. 2006 it wasn't that vintage, right? So 2006 it was still... I mean, I got the cheapest Octane. What did I pay? I probably once looked it up. Did I pay like 450 euro or so? Or... But I also got the cheapest because I knew the Linux port was only at the beginning of being somewhat working, and I didn't want to spend more for a high performance one. In retrospect, maybe I should, but I was a student, I didn't have more money. So I probably was like at 150 euros as a student, I probably was eating the rest of the month just rice or so. Yeah, so 2006 it wasn't that old, right? It was only like a decade, like only it was like building, buying a 10-year-old AMD Epic or Threadripper, right? It's unfortunately back in the day it was highly unstable, so in 2006 I didn't get the most use out of it. So how do we? I mean, we could simply change root that. I wonder if I should risk. I mean, worst case, live stream ends. Maybe okay. Let's pre-test one thing. Let's copy the. Let's be a little bit professional. Let's copy the bash into bin and change root and see. And curses. Fair enough. User lib or so, or do we have this in? But I mean, now if you want the stuff nowadays, just check eBay and Craigslist and stuff. Okay, the bash still works, so it hopefully doesn't segmentation fault the most. So I mean, very worst case, very worst case the stream ends here, and should I try this with mine? Yeah, worst case, I mean, having an installation with a broken mkdir is not the best thing to start with. Yeah, worst case, I need to pull the drive out. I mean, yeah, I could boot our installer, but what I usually do, I pull the drive out and put it on some USB SCSI adapter and interface it with my latest Ryzen, and copy some files over. But I will, like, if this breaks, I will not do this today. What did I even... I wanted... This I wanted. I should test this in a VM. I rarely do that. Should the libc alone work? Or maybe we also need LDS also. Does install, can install multiple will this crash or will this work? The problem is with overwriting memory mapped libraries. I mean, install should do this atomically and create new files, right? Anyone objects? Maybe it worked. Okay, call utils is broken, of course. It's not that slow. Whoa, we looks like we successfully replaced this. I hope this machine then still boots also, would be really a shame. I mean, okay, we only install, I mean, it's of course a little bit hacky. I don't want to further mess with it and potentially break more. Where does this take so? Nothing like breaking your shared objects in C library live on a YouTube channel. Oh, by the way, I didn't test this, right? I should. Oh wait, why does it still not work? Or is it a built-in? Wait, this is not... I thought it worked. Did we not install? Oh. I thought I would just... Did we not think it worked? What did I do now? Or did I not? Ah, I didn't. Didn't have the C library there anymore. I wanted to quickly build something. I didn't want to repair my MKDir to not error out on -p. Oh, seriously. There's a limit of... I mean, if you like our content, we have merch, right? I probably need to buy my own merch myself soon. But it freaking works here. Is that not freaking the same? What have I done now? Or did we not install the C library? So maybe it's a bug in the C library. Yeah, it doesn't... I thought we installed the C library. What? It's the same C library. Why does it not work? When I change root here and mkdir, that works. What? Can someone tell me what I'm doing wrong here? What other factor could influence that? Did I MD5 some there? Why does always nonsense need to happen? I don't get it. What the heck is going on here? It does here syscall 6330 and I mean what is it even doing here? It mkdirs and that exists, fair enough, it should be done. And then it returns because syscall 6, what is MIPS64? What is this MIPS64? Maybe it tries to use a two-new, so it returns an error code because no, the problem, I guess this is a problem here, is that mkdir is done. Maybe in the change root it's somehow because it doesn't have proc or this, doesn't do some other syscall. I mean, we could check that. You know how we could check that? strace follow change root that. Look at that. This syscall doesn't fail. So I mean, this is, in my opinion, rather stupid from mkdir, like it's done, and then because some cleanup stuff doesn't work, like what is this bloody syscall? And I mean, we probably we could copy a new strace. This strace might be old. Let's hope for the best, installing it into the system. Oh my. Why is my secure shell hanging? SCSI timeout. It's not a good sign. Let's see if mine can still install it into the system. Okay, don't really need that. Can you just force it? Okay, that's faster. Oh, it's chas. Maybe it wants to read chas. Don't tell me it's failing because it's. So it's maybe. Wait, no, this is. Wait, no, this is. No, we were off here. StatX. So the system call is StatX. So much to upgrading a S-trace for some new system calls. We just created this. I mean, I can check for you. Oh, this is a. Oh, thanks for that tip. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So maybe it's not a bug after all. It's just I should have listened to my YouTube commenters, spectators and stuff. Thanks for that tip. So user doc was indeed some strange symlink user like share. What do we have here? I have no idea how this happened. Okay, let's restore that. Whatever was going on here. Yeah, maybe some installation. Cool. So MKAD was not broken after all. If we would have more properly analyzed it and listened to our. Thanks for that. So yeah, a broken symlink can. Maybe it's still not conformant. Maybe it's not. Yeah, probably. Okay, actually, maybe it's still not conformant. So MKD failed, and then it checks: is it actually a directory to return a non-zero exit code, and it couldn't start it. Okay, fair enough. So much to, it wasn't an N32 bug, it was not a glibc bug, it was, the bug was in the file system and in front of the camera and display. So let's try this again. Wow, let's hope we didn't damage our system too much with manually installing new glibc, but hey, at least we have an S-trace now that can print out StatX for N32. Yay. No, that was another wasting 10 minutes for nothing. Probably a recurring reminder that I should actually reinstall the, actually, you know what, then we don't need to build BC, and we can build potentially faster Lua. Yeah, how to waste 10 or 15 minutes for a pointless search and bugs that weren't. Let's hope. Yeah, with BetterFS we could have made snapshots and stuff, but it's not that I would have tried BetterFS on MIPS. Let's get another coffee. But even yeah, I mean, looking at the wrong thing can happen to everyone, but it's even, yeah, even I learned stuff after 20 years, like, yeah, look, like suggested, analyze what's in your file system first when you, but I'm so used to broken C libraries on non-x86 and APIs and ABIs and stuff that, like, of course I thought N32 is broken in some strange way. But if you, previously people ask, where did you got this machine? So I need to buy most of them. Usually I search and wait for years on eBay to get them cheaper. A few I got donated, but not many, a handful. I would say in the United States it's much easier to get good donations, especially if you live in the Bay Area, right? Friends and family might have worked there, and I see on Twitter and Instagram and other stuff, or YouTube, that so many people just get mountains of stuff for free, right? Previous engineers hoarded dozens of machines in their basement and they pass away and stuff. And so I feel, and also because we didn't, for the most part, didn't have such companies in Germany. So my personal impression from the internet and what I hear and stuff is it should be much easier to source this in the States, even cheaper or for free. Even get it cheaper, right? In Germany we have only high-priced product and stuff. My impression is also that in the States you have much of the cheap eBay auctions and also government sales, like, yeah, old supercomputers or the regular server stuff. And so it should be even easier in yeah, over there to solve stuff. Okay, so that is here GCC compilation speed. We probably are through. So the reason I built Lua first is that it's much faster than Bash. So that even works. So yeah, we didn't break our system too much with YOLOing a new C library in there. Also, this means I did not install the latest ISO. I rely on the community, right? I tested so much I cannot test more. So 3 minutes 11. So the cool thing is, so yeah, at least we tested our last builds. Then of course we probably set up more unit testing than most Linux distributions, including more and more unit testing single binaries. So it's not a surprise that they are not that broken, but nonetheless nice to see. And then that they work on real hardware indeed. Debs none. So let's build the Bash we wanted for the performance figures. And so okay, the estimate, so I built Lua first to get an estimate, right? So the estimate here is 21 minutes, which may or may not be accurate. If this would be true, we could, so that would still make it, what do we have here? That is a MIPS R10000, that is a what is it, codename T5 of course, matching our T2 for some bizarre reason. And so that was, I think this was already out of, so this was already, this was one of the first speculating, out of order speculating CPUs, right? R10K, a 4-way superscalar design that implements register renaming and executes instructions out of order. Its design is a departure from previous MTI microprocessors. Fetches 4 instructions every cycle from an instruction cache. The instructions are decoded, then placed into the integer, floating point, and load store instruction queues depending on the type of instructions. The decode unit assists pre-decoded instructions, yada yada, blah blah blah. 5 bits every instruction to enable unit to quickly identify. Each of the instruction queue can accept up to 4 instructions from the decoder, avoiding any bottlenecks. Issues instructions to the execution units dynamically depending on the validity of the operands and resources. Each of the queues, except for the load store queue, can issue up to 2 instructions every cycle. I mean, there is a reason this costed, I mean, the high-end configuration costed $50,000 US, right? Probably the a similar, like, because I mixed my SKUs, I got a second Sgi Octane. The first I brought in 2006. A second I recently, for this YouTube channel, by pure luck and chance, I got actually for free from a basement clean out here in Germany. And this was also funny. I was promised on Origin 200. Someone on Twitter, by pure chance and connection over 2 degrees of separation, like, hey, don't you want to have some SGI parts? And I was naturally like, yes, of course I want. So what I actually, the only thing I needed was a hard drive carrier for my Octane, because I only had one. And because, so there was, the saying was like, hey, do you want to have an Origin 200, which uses the same, also MIPS, also SGI, uses the same hard drive slats. And I was like, I was going there, I was driving some 100 kilometers through Germany, picking it up at the other end of Germany. I thought I get a Origin 200, but those people in their basements, you come there and it's an Octane. It's like, where's the Origin 200? There? Not that? It's like, yeah, but that's an Octane. Like, yeah, this is how I got, instead of an Origin 200, an Octane. All I wanted was a hard drive slot, but all I got was a second Octane. So if I mix them because I need to use these components, because my IRIX one has a better GPU, which I don't need in Unix, in Linux and stuff. So what I want to say is, all I wanted to say is, the components from the higher end machines that I resorted here probably were over $40,000 US when new, right? I mean, this was highest performance you could get when new in 1996, right? And so if the performance really is that, then it's probably as performant. I mean, it's of course the lowest end silicon today, right? But performance might be in dual. I mean, even for the creator that we benchmarked yesterday, it might have be similar performance to the creator, right? Or am I mixing there something? Board, imagination. We will see when we're done. So 14, okay, so this, I mean, this is MIPS 32-bit, also dual core, but dual 1.2 gigahertz, right? This is only dual 250 megahertz, right? And that is how much more performance you get out of issuing up to 4 instructions, 4-way superscalar, yeah. Avoiding any bottlenecks instead of all this in order single issue. Like, what even was the performance on of the, did I close it? Where are here? What was the performance of the, oh wait, did I have this in board? Oh yeah, board. The Hi5 unmatched, that is 9 minutes. Okay, I mean, it is significantly higher. How much is that? Was the dual issue? What was Hi5U74? I lose overview. I can't remember all those. This is not the right page I wanted, but to the dual issue superscalar. So yeah, I mean, it's also, mine is overclocked. What was the rated gigahertz? I believe I overclocked mine some 100 megahertz more, was not stable. You can overclock, pro tip, you can overclock this by just editing the frequency in U-boot. But I also tried to overclock the memory, that was totally not stable, so I couldn't, like, even just some megahertz was not possible for whatever memory reasons. Yeah, Bash is still configuring. And we're building in TempFS, right? We have 1 gig of memory, so so dual issue, but it's also quad core, right? It's like, yeah, the more cores the better. Yeah, 1.2. What do I overclock that? Do I overclock to 1.3? Maybe. I should. I tried to find it. I didn't find any proc file in Linux. Like, yeah, 2023 couldn't find any proc file. And not even U-boot was apparently outputting something. But so I probably run it at 1.3. I probably should check it. Yeah. So that's the thing. Let's check. So while we wait, what's next for P3 and microkernel? Next is microkernel. So P3, the YouTube channel is growing slower than I anticipated. I thought, I mean, yes, I know my content is not AAA. I just like, yeah, maybe instead of pouring on, maybe I should take the time to edit this. I'm aware that people are more after 10-minute segments of pre-edited video stuff. I just, like, it just takes 3 hours, right? And then, like, maybe I should, probably I should run some experiments. The thing is, I just don't quite have, I mean, I did this recently with my bicycle computer repair and stuff, and yeah, maybe instead of running a Linux distribution, I should run pre-edited AAA YouTube videos. But at least we now have a working Linux distribution, right? Either we have a growing YouTube channel, or we have a working Linux distribution, which maybe the working Linux distribution is more important in the long run. But now that, so basically I'm coming to an end of, in 4 years live on YouTube, modernizing, at least for the most part. Of course, I still have 500 lines of to-do, but they are not that important. Sure, there are plenty of nice to have to-dos. It's always nice to polish some nice things. Make Google Chrome just compile, or Chromium. There are always some nice things to have, right? But I'm also realistic. Successes, like supporting everything, is not as important as having some success. So after 4 years, basically catching up in 1 decade, I said this before, right? I do T2, our Linux distribution, for 25 years with the history of Rock Linux, of which we forked off, and I was major contributor and stable release maintainer. And the last 10 years before YouTube, so from 2010 to 2020, I maintained T2, but only the core package subset, right? I basically didn't touch KDE, it didn't touch GNOME, I didn't touch XFCE because YOLO, whatever. I kept, the tool chain was in top-notch shape, despite we're not making the most money with it. So, but to have it ready for server virtualization embedded projects, automotive carrier grade and satellites, we kept the core stuff at Xcode, of course, in an amazing shape, but obviously we neglected all the other stuff. Basically, give me a Xorg server, give me an Xterm, preferably in Unicode, RxBT, or some black box. Probably better, something better than TWM. That's enough for me, right? So 4 years on YouTube, live streaming a lot of all this boring stuff. We now have over 5,000 packages, of which we 50% can cross-compile. We have more architectures than ever, and the architectures are more stable than ever. The installer is better. Everything is better. Even emerging is better. Also, not even sure if I finished the sentence. I just realized an hour ago I wanted to say, initially I wanted to download curl and it started to recompress, and I just had a reminder of how slow this pointless set standard recompression that I just removed 2 days ago, live here on this channel, previous video. So it's so much better even to, yes, it's slow, heavy, configure finish. Probably leave in the comments below. Probably we need some timestamp printout there, right? Let's add this to our to-do. I can never have. So by the way, this is building. Okay, let's let my Ryzen build this some more. Yeah, let's add this to the to-do before I forget that. User source serve T2. User source serve T2. I said to do verbose log timestamp and also percent emerge and build target. What to even type today? I guess I need to go to the sun and have some holiday. Emerge build target percentage. Hello? Did we? No, even my Ryzen stalls. Hello Ryzen, what's up with you? Oh, I somehow. Did I press some Gmax scroller? Can't make this shit up. Okay, I don't build this all now. The office is getting warm. I don't need to have 300 to 400 watt of Ryzen and MIPS64 blowing and warming my office. By the way, we don't have BTOP, right? Do we have BTOP? Of course we don't have BTOP. Yeah, we'll go there. So, my point is, T2 is in an amazing shape. I'm better than ever, and that is all I could have asked for. It is the best Linux distribution for me, and that is... Yeah, Vodafone's failing DOCSIS, what should I say? Next is probably also moving the office. It is too small, too hot, and the internet is failing here. So, maybe I should... Actually, can't make the shitty internet up, this is ridiculous. So yeah, I wanted to try one proper video. Yeah, I'm not making the shitty internet up, I just stopped here some background arsing that was already limited to 80k. Yeah, even 80k is too much for bloody Vodafone. So now we can do more interesting stuff, including my microkernel dream. I'm still not yet sure. I will probably have to make a dedicated video on the state of microkernel stuff. The problem is that I'm neither... So ideally I would want to write a microkernel, because a lot of, like most things I see out there are not amazing, including Linux kernel. Fortunately, you see this here, only constants change and regressions. Not only on the P3, but also on other things, all things AMD and Intel. I hope it doesn't fail on Perl though. Do we have a functional Perl in here? Details. 0, 0, output. Come on, Vodafone. 2 Mbit 0, 2 Mbit 0. Man, yeah, you can also not run a YouTube channel or a proper business with this failing internet. Amazing stuff. It's ridiculous. 0 to Mbit, 0 to Mbit. So yeah, we will, however, I will, independently of the microkernel, which I would ideally, yes, there is L4 and stuff, and maybe I should reuse some stuff of L4, that is another thing. I will definitely go back to do some more low-level fun, like 3D on Verge Voodoo or some newer stuff in the context of our own microkernel, basically microkernel, 3D stuff, audio, and such fun, because writing a microkernel is only fun if you have some fun doing so. Unfortunately, because so Go is not the most usable for a kernel. Rust, I don't like too many things of Rust, which, by the way, pro tip, also we maybe build something, the GNU Bash version release. So yeah, this will come. Maybe not the most on the P3, right? I hoped I had 10,000, if not like 10,000 subscribers earlier. I hoped I would have had 100,000 subscribers in the meantime. Maybe I'm just not talented and AAA content enough. Probably both. Maybe I should work on that. Like if we would have 100,000 subscribers, I could and the thousands of euro YouTube revenue to really finance my living costs, food for the family. I could work on the RSX, but given there's not the most funding for that, which of course you could contribute on Patreon, working on the RSX is not the most important. We will probably do eventually a little bit. Maybe also, I said this before in our Discord, it probably makes sense to use a RPS3, so which by the way probably also could update, right? So a pro tip, I wanted RustC and RPCS3 or whatever. Usually for some reason we miss the updates. We probably need to check our data. Yes, I understand. Thanks for that. So we could probably use that. We can't use it directly, so you can't boot Linux in there because it's not a full system emulator. It's just emulating the GameOS APIs. But that is probably good enough for us. We could probably set up a RPCS GameOS compatible userland and implement all the graphic blitting and maybe Vulkan stack or so, and testing that, because testing that on real hardware is super annoying. Each time something bugs, you need to reboot if you get some hypervisor exception and stuff. So it probably, so this should be possible, right? We could do so much amazing stuff. Also, I don't want to download. Where's the freaking GitHub? Here, pull requests. Here is some commit. Can be, hello. How does it work here? So yeah, that should be possible. Would probably save us. I mean, everything is work, but this would probably be helpful. And I mean, everyone else, it's of course disappointing that nobody else been there, done that, and everyone waits for us to do it. So patch is welcome, RPCS3 or so. Hey, there's a new version. As if I would have imagined that. Yeah, it's probably fine. RPCS3. And RustC here, there might be times a new 171. I believe we had that right. Also wrong, too many terminals. So yeah, next is probably, so yeah, this is next. Where is our... Okay, that is good to know that there's also always some takeaway. For example, that Perl cross-builds for MIPS because it fails cross-building for native AMD64 because it tries to link some native libraries. So probably it's good to know that in general the mostly working Perl thing cross-build for MIPS, so that we can should fix whatever Perl tries to natively run there for. Otherwise, cross-build for Perl Verse or Rust. You know, pro tip, actually search for stuff, not... yeah, 131, that's the latest version. Okay, we're still building. How many minutes are we in? So yeah, for the microkernel, so that's also, for me it's not the most fun to work on the Linux kernel, right? So it would be more fun. I mean, there's also 10,000 other people doing so. So maybe one day we do. I'm not sure if I would, like, if we ever get a mostly working microkernel set up in some years, maybe for the fun of it, we could try to get it running on the P3. Of course, we could pre-test it in QEMU. We will probably do something with PowerPC eventually. Maybe even try to get it run on the PS3, because why not? And that I would also have, that would satisfy me more and would be more fun than just doing Linux kernel for 25 years, when I don't find that it's the most technologically advanced setup to set up your OS and kernel and stuff. So how can this, what does it even build now? Why does it rebuild stuff here? Did it not rerun this in... Was this not... What does it do here? Does it... What even... Okay, examples... Okay, this builds example buses. Probably... You know what? Theoretically, we might want to disable those. They're probably not installed, are they? So they built here apparently... What a waste of time. I mean, the that thing is... if we change that, so I add this to the to-do, disable more tests and examples, e.g. bash example, does it run the builds also? Because it looks like they built here some kind of core utils, built and runnable thing of even freaking CSV? What the freaking heck are they even freaking doing there? Or are they used builds? I mean, these are built in... T and head? What the heck? Do they install this? I mean, that is the only benefit of, like, hey, even I didn't realize that on Epic Threadripping this just builds in fractions of seconds, and a win-win of what do they even install that here? Oh, they actually do that. They install them. Wow. So you can have all of those as built-ins? Do they even do that by default? Okay. Hey, we finished installation. So 23. Was this? I believe that was relatively close, wasn't it? Ah shit, we don't have. Like, why is the default screen scrolling? So it's like so few hundred lines. Are you kidding me? So there you have it. 23 minutes, 24 seconds for natively compiling Bash on a dual processor. 250 MHz. Should we build, I mean, now that we have that, what would be the dry run? Same for bin utils, 2 hours and 2.5 hours. Yay, just like on some modern embedded silicon. To be fair, to put this into perspective, back in the day when this was new, software was less bloated, right? So the GCC 295 back in the day and the SGI MIPS Pro compiler were, of course, faster, and software was smaller, right? Orders of magnitudes. So probably Bash may have built in just 2 minutes, right? Without 20 or even 25 years of accumulated bloat, right? If you're wondering, like, how could this be in a high-end workstation? Yes, back in the day, surprise, software was less bloated and smaller. Yeah, except some SCSI stability things, which, for whatever reason they happen. Also, we built this 480 kernel with significant newer compiler, right? So maybe there's some memory barrier and other whatnot optimization things that prevent, or that cause new bugs in, like, yeah, building the MIPS64 4.18.5 kernel, our best patch that we had so far ever. It's like, yeah, some potential new regressions using a new compiler on that. So let's document that. Which system do you want to see next? Let's put that here online in www.t2. Emacs, and then hardware works desktop, Sgi Octane. And another win-win is, of course, keeping my software tested, right? It's nothing like you have it a decade in the basement, it doesn't work anymore, right? In my opinion, a outstanding hardware collection is only as good as much as it's tested and working. And if it's not working, then it's yeah, it doesn't have much value. In general, I said it before, right? If you see all the big YouTubers, their collection, it's collecting dust, right? Similar to mine. Also, I mean, at least mine, every other 3 years I undust something and see if it still works and test the state of open source and bugs and so on. So I guess maybe I use mine a little bit more than most people. I mean, certainly the 8-bit guy is using their stuff, but even I guess as much as like if the 8-bit guy develops his Planet X3 and Petsky robot like for a year, I'm sure he doesn't touch dozens of all his vintage 8-bit collections. He probably uses 4, 5, 6 machines of his 20, 30, 40 or 100, and it's like, yeah. And yes, I will redecorate, and I will probably stack them somewhere in the background, at least to have the nice looking background here. So that means 23, 24. Of course, with a slightly older GCC, right? So latest T2 will be a little bit slower. Did we LTO? I don't know. So that is MineQ GCC 494. Why is this 4.94? Is this? How can this be that old? Was this really the compiler in? That cannot have been the compiler in. Was it really the latest GCC version? Why is this 494? I'm shocked. So this means with the latest compiler it will be even slower. GCC 4.9? What was it, 4.9? When the heck was it even released? Okay, was it really, did they really increment the version number so fast? Okay, maybe it was... How did we got from GCC 4.94 in 2016 to... What is the GCC numbering? Four... 2015, okay, maybe we had this 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay, one component. Maybe we had an overlay, maybe we intentionally kept it a little bit older, maybe, or it could also be that something was buggy and I rebuilt everything with the older GCC. And that's a little bit disappointing. I should have checked that before, but it is what it is now. So that also means no LTO, so 494, like no LTO. Did I do smart, right? You know what, let's... we can't build BTOP with that. BTOP requires a 20 CXX20 compiler, so here, there goes nothing for. Maybe I had, you know what is possible? Maybe I had a much older kernel back in the day. Maybe I had a T2 custom, like 3 whatever. Probably what happened was, my best guess estimate is, I built this with an older kernel before I merged with other people's patch sets, so maybe I had a MIPS64 overlay to build a 2619 kernel or so. Probably that was a thing before. Yeah, 4 years. Coming full circle. 4 years live on this channel, and we got from old, unmaintained, unloved, unappreciated state of software, bitrot, to everything just freaking works TM and is up to date. With thousands new packages, thousands new features, more emerge fun, no recompression. Oh, by the way, we could, like, one last thing. I don't think it will compile in, like, at least we have a build time estimate for xset. Now we need xset here. Let's hope it doesn't download xset. So it also means, that's also a good test. Okay, 9 minutes. Yeah, xset on xset. So that is a good test. I noticed it the other day, and that is another win-win, right? If you're wondering, why do we bother Sure, we could have tested with other faster stuff, but why not? And I thought this the other day already. Of course, from this exceptional compressor things, we cannot. I mean, maybe I auto-substituted that is possible. Maybe I auto-transitioned that from GZ to XZ. I probably had that historically to XZ. No, I didn't. Let's see if that downloads. Because obviously if you need to build XZ from nothing, you can't download this as XZ, so. Here, it is of course larger, but let's see if that really builds in 9 minutes. I have my doubts, but let's see. So 2324 to build bash GCC 494. No LTO, was it smart? Oh shit, we auto reconfigure. Alright, nah, that is unfortunate. Why do we do that? So because it found, okay, I mean, fair enough, theoretically that is the right thing to do, just maybe I cleaned up that. Yeah, okay, it is what it is. So this was with, oh no, it's for size. Did I not change this? I thought okay, it was size. Good, I checked this. OS. Yeah, I edited this. I edited that, and then our file system crashed. Right, some SCSI bus thing. So also, what did I do? So, but that's all now, right? 2324 bash 52015 GCC 494. No LTO OS. Yeah, achievement unlocked. Wasn't the fastest, as usual. Some stupidity, some time wasted by me not being more clever. Recurring theme here. Maybe I leave it and build. Actually, you know what? I probably not build XZ now. This, if it would not have reconfigured, but it reconfigured. But we could actually, we should update this XZ. Nothing like committing from your Sgi Octane. Changed XZ download to GZ to be able to build it without XZ pre-installed. We should check that basically also for other compressors. Just some password entry. What is with set standard? Yeah, gset. I don't know what I recently did with. I mean, very theoretically. Yeah, maybe it's probably not worth it, because if you have a low-end system, like even if they would offer like some other alternative, PZ2 or whatever, I mean, maybe I should check. Oh, no, this is GitHub, so they don't have, probably not bsib2. Yeah, bsib, what do we do there? I mean, maybe bsib, because we usually had that. Okay, we have tar. I mean, this is a safe thing there. It's probably for the better. And okay, they are all the others. Okay, fair enough. Achievement unlocked. The Sgi Octane is still alive. Yeah, statting some 5,000 files takes a while. The only drawback of having more packages. Comments there, daily driving and experimenting a HP 712/60 next step 3.3, quite impressive how fast it feels, serves things. And that is what I did. So yeah, I will make a live stream soon about, it's basically a good point for how fast things feels with microkernel. Also their printers, PostScript description file works perfectly, printer is nearly new. Yeah, that is PostScript printer so much better than all this bitmap raster or other proprietary stuff. What's here with OpenSSH? Not sure what I did. So no. Okay, fine. So probably rebuild security. Yeah, so this is not that unstable, right? So uptime after the SCSI glitch, uptime 1.5 hour. I previously let this Octane. I mean, this Octane is not that unstable. I'm pretty sure previously I let it run overnight to benchmark some open bench stuff, because previously I benchmarked a whole lot of old systems, and I'm pretty sure I let it run like for 20 hours to one of those old benchmark videos here. Like here, is this probably? Yeah, here. No, not giveaway. Here, Sysrisk. So over 25 systems benchmark. So previously I had that running for probably 20 hours to probably compile all bcp, PG and stuff here. For this, if you want this, you probably want to, you know what? You probably, of course, want to watch that. And what yada yada, what's there with all the link stuff, probably like that. I don't have holy flame wars. I use Emacs and Vim, and I don't even use Vim. I need just give me NVI or so. I trigger and flame war people by using both editors. Gonna be a long stream. It was a long stream. Now we are done. Probably we live stream 1.5 hours. So basically, anything else? So LS CPU, right? We don't have NeoFetch. Or do we have Neo? You know what? Let's. Darn. Okay, you got me. We emerge. Depths, none, NeoFetch, and exset. Just for the fun of it. Oh, wow, the NeoFetch. And another win-win, right? I put so much effort into updating our cache files that store dependencies and build time reference build times, of which we can compute relative to bin-utils other build times, and only by pure chance and luck I updated thousands. Probably I put more effort than I should do for profit, like last days and weeks for cache file improvements, for better emerging open source packages for you playing along at home. And with all the updates I missed NeoFetch. Obviously not a high profile and the most important package, but this is why now it's probably 100% to bin-utils, so it's using the 100% because it's defaulting to 100, which may or may not be the best idea, doesn't really matter. So like here, build time significantly off. You know what, we also let's build just NeoFetch for now. I want that first. Like here, another update of like updating the NeoFetch cache file here from an Sgi Octane because the build time reference is off. So there, that's the thing. Yeah, theoretically we are over with the live stream, except maybe building exset, which maybe we could leave it running for kicks and giggles here. Oh, this is also wrong. Let me check my emails. Well, you can watch. Did I build this with verbose? Oh no, I didn't. Always so many fails here. Verbose, of course. And then exset just to see if it really builds in 4 minutes something. Yeah, still building. How many people do we have tuning in? Ironically, sometimes maybe I should make a new live stream. You know what? YouTube likes views, right? Maybe we should, you know what, let's make a separate live stream of just compiling software. This might improve YouTube views and stuff. So thanks for watching this adventure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, maybe Patreon or YouTube membership. And if you want to watch this compiling, watch the next 10